Welcome to Fun with Finance, my video number 1. In fact, this is the first video I'm creating, so please let me know what you think about it. In this video, I would like to talk about a few things in the financial calculator. So in particular, let's look at these few things. In finance courses, we typically recommend to our students to not use the default 2 numbers after the decimal place, but instead increase to at least 4. So how do you do that? So question number 1. Let me bring up the calculator, this one here. So the first thing you do is press the on button, turn it on. Currently the default is 2. How do you change it? You press the button second, then format on the bottom. The display shows 2, that's the default. Let's change it to, for example, 5. We press 5, enter, done. What do you do next? Nothing really. You can turn the calculator off and back on, and you see 5 decimal places. So to review, we press second, then the decimal place, and then change to some number, and then enter. Let's do this. Okay, now let's look at question number 2. How do we clear the calculator's memory? Why do we need this? Very often when you do the math in few steps, on the second step or third step, you realize that something is wrong. It's probably because the calculator is reusing some of the old numbers you used in your earlier steps. So that's why we want to clear the calculator's memory. How do we do that? We press second, FV. Right above the FV key, it says clear time value of money, TVM. So by pressing the button second, it brings up the text in the second row for the button you're about to press. So second, clear time value. Everything should be cleared. Now, let me add this here. Second, FV. And then the last thing I wanted to explain in this video is question number 3. How do we do a full reset of the calculator? This is what I always do because sometimes clearing the calculator's memory the way I did in question 2 does not always work. It's not always reliable because sometimes there are other things which are still stored that may be reused in your next calculations. How do we do a full reset? Second, plus minus button, again it brings up the text in the second row which says reset, and now it shows reset on the display, and then press enter. What do you do next? Again, off, back on, everything is the way it was when you just bought your calculator. Unfortunately, the decimal places also go back to the default number of 2, but to me that's the least of my worries. There's another way. Let me add this here. Second, plus minus, and enter. Let me add some space. Okay, if you take your and turn it around, you'll see somewhere in the bottom a little tiny hole. If you press with something sharp, it will do a hard reset. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video. Enjoy working with your financial calculators.